know, your ass better call somebody.
Efedding, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the EFED management system FedWars. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new federations, to seek out new talent and new communities, to boldly wrestle where no man has wrestled before. Ladies and gents, welcome to FedCast One-on-One Episode 1, where we will interview individuals from across the land of Efedding, and we can and will discuss anything and everything in the land of Efedding, so just relax, we'll take it slow, and let the good times roll. So thanks for joining us here on episode 1 of FedCast One-on-One, formerly, of course, GOWcast One-on-One. Now changed to FedCast One-on-One, and I'm joined once again by the guru of EFED Management Systems himself, the owner of the now infamous FedWars.net, LAL. LAL, how goes it today?
Oh, it's going no better than last week. You?
I've had a crappy week actually. I was sick most of the week. I had some lame cold.
Yeah, you sound like you have a nasty cold.
And it was one of those. It doesn't even qualify as a cold. You know, usually with a cold you have fatigue or loss of appetite, coughing, hacking, all that fun stuff. This was just annoying to the point where it made me sneeze over and over and over and over to the point where the next day I was so dried out I could barely speak. So I don't know. It sucked.
Yeah, I had that earlier in January for for a few days. It wasn't good. You try to sleep and you have just the
first day my nose ran so bad I was looking for a tap to turn my nose off, and then the next day I'm doing nothing but sneezing, and then the next day I can barely speak. So it was annoying. It didn't qualify as a cold. It was a McMadio cold.
Yeah, he can do that to you.
Yeah. It's irritating like that. So, episode 1, FedCast One-on-One, very cool. I got a few questions, of course, off the top of my head, and I assume you want to discuss a few things about the site itself and some future plans and features being added, etc., etc. So, I guess we shall get started. And I guess my first question, I think everybody would want to know the answer to this question. I know I want to know the answer to this question. I think everybody wants to know. Okay, maybe it's just me that wants to know. But exactly why is it that I don't have free VIP service?
Good question. You'd have to ask Mick Matteo that question. He's in charge of all the sales and all that, so you'll have to ask him as to why you don't have VIP. So, I asked him too, and he doesn't know. He said he's going to try to get it to you, but
well, he's a son of a bitch. I want it right now. No, I like the VIP service. It's a good idea. It forces people to actually keep their feds active. I mean, as a Fed owner, if you can't go on to at least your discussion board once, and what is it, once every 3 days?
That is correct. Yes, you got to post. You got to post at least. You can post once every 12. Well, you can post as much as you want, but in order to count as XP, once every 12 hours, if I remember correctly, it'll give you the XP granted to your account. And let's be honest,
as a Fed owner, if you can't accomplish at least that, then what are you doing running a Fed anyways? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's perfectly fair, and if your Fed closes down, you should be forced to pay to reopen it. I mean, you were given a chance to run a free Fed. You chose to allow it to close down and become inactive. Therefore, you lose your chance. So now you got to pay, what is it? It's not even very much anyways, is it? I forget how much per year it is.
It is $10.
$10 per year, so the same cost as the VIP service, correct?
That is the VIP.
Or that is the VIP service.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm retarded. I was talking with Matteo yesterday. It makes you a little dumb.
Yeah, you can have that effect on you.
So listen, what are your thoughts on the current state of FedWars? Are you happy with the way things are going? Let's compare it to 1.0. What would your state of happiness with the site be compared to 1.0? And what are your immediate plans for the coming future?
Well, for the coming future, I plan on adding just like little, nothing too big. Maybe, probably the building the venues is probably something, and then probably that news page, and possibly having a tournament in 2.0. That tournament, and then just a whole bunch of
the tournament we were discussing on the forums.
Yeah, possibly that might actually possibly be starting March 1st, possibly. But I got a whole list of other smaller things that I'm going to plan on putting in for 2.0, but 2.0, to compare it to 1.0, I mean, I like it a lot better than 1.0 personally. I still don't care for the look of, personally, even though I was the one that designed it, I still don't care for the look of it.
I actually like the login screen better than I like the because I like the gold colors, and I like the look of it looks cleaner for some reason. I just like the look of the login screen as opposed to all the red and gray.
For what was that one?
Well, when you first log in, it gives you like a instead of having the red topic bars and everything, it's got gold, and it's gold and gray as opposed to red and gray. At least on my screen, I don't know. Does everybody have a different one or something?
Or you mean you using the medium theme?
I don't know. That's what I was just asking. Is there different themes for everybody? Because when I log in, when I first come up and bring Fed Wars up, it gives me a login screen, and everything's gold and gray, and it looks real clean and nice. I like that. And then when you log in, it goes from gold to red.
Oh, well, you need to go to Profile, the Edit Profile, and then you can change your theme.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I can change the main site itself too. But
yeah, there's 3 different ones. There's a gray or like a silver one. That's the light theme.
Right.
There's a dark theme. That's red, the one that you're probably currently on, and then the default theme, which is the orange theme.
Yeah, orange gold. It kind of looks goldish color. It's kind of neat. So that tournament, I actually I like the ideas that remember GFed tried to do a tournament type ordeal, but it was ridiculously stupid and not organized well, and it wasn't a good concept either for that matter. It was just dumb. I guess you can't really say anything more than that. It was dumb. So I like the idea of having a tournament that you're actually going to role play for, and everybody in every Fed inside Fed Wars can participate and write role plays and submit and try to attempt to win that tournament. I like that. And I've already thrown my hat in to be a judge. And I know there's always concern if, let's say, one of my guys are in there, if I would judge fairly or not. Number one, I'm okay with not judging my talent. Number two, if I was to judge my talent, absolutely no mercy for me. If my guys lose, that's on them, not me. They should have done better. I don't play games or politics, so if you lose, you lose. Too bad. But I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun.
I think I don't think we're going to have it where they're representing a Fed or anything. So
no, it's just a Fed Wars wide tournament as opposed to representing an individual.
Fed. Yeah, they're Fed. So, yeah.
And venues, I like the idea of having venues. Now these are going to be venues we can edit, right? Like if we wanted, let's say we want to take, I don't know, the K-Rock Center and turn it into GOW Arena.
Well, no, you'll be able to build your own arena, like create your own arena. But
so you can either buy one or create one. That's cool.
I don't know if we're actually going. I don't know if I'm going to allow you to buy an arena. Maybe that's maybe something for a future version of Fed Wars, but I don't think I'm going to allow you to buy them this in 2.0. But I am going to put in the build venues feature, so you can be able to buy. You can be able to add like merchandise stands, like food stands, stuff like that, and you can upgrade the seating so you can get more seats for more people, etc.
Nice. I had suggested that GOW Arena be added to the venues list, of course, but I was quickly had the door slammed in my face, like, no, real arenas only. I said, come on, it's friggin' fantasy wrestling. I can't have GOW Arena. What the fuck is going on here?
Sadly, you can't.
Oh,
but you will be able to soon.
But as soon as they said, they kind of said like later on you'll be able to have your own, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just, when people start tossing around reality into the fantasy, that drives me nuts. That's why in GOW we don't, even role plays, we don't call role plays, we call them promos. We try to keep fantasy and real life separate, and it just makes it more fun. If you want to make an OOC comment, go to the fucking OOC board. That's what that's for.
I think there should be some realism, like.
Oh yeah, like you got, if you're going to mention, maybe a wrestler or a place or an event or that's. But
yeah,
I mean,
like a city or something like that.
But I don't want to see the word RP or roleplay on my RP board. That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep out of character comments to the out of character board, should you have one. So
yeah.
So what else do you got planned? Do you have an anti-McMadio button that you're going to develop for the site so we can just press it and we never have to worry about seeing him or hearing him? Or
probably not. Apparently he's going to make his own eFed management system, so he probably won't have much time, even though I doubt it. So
he's going to build his. And this is like the second or third time he's told us he's going to do this. A rival Fed to. And speaking of rival Fed, because we don't want to talk about McStink too much.
Yeah, or we'll get bashed on the forums.
We'll get bashed on the forums. You talked about McMadio too fucking much. You're just mad because we didn't talk about your small penis. Stop it. But no, Dave Demented, of course, we're talking about. Rumor has it he's in line to buy GFed from Brian. What exactly?
Yeah, last night in the chat he brought that up. At first I thought he was just joking. Seriously, I thought he was.
Yeah, me too. I still think he might be, but who knows?
Yeah, I still he might be telling.
Dave, are you really buying it or what? Fill us in. We want the scoop. You son of a bitch, you. You'll be hiding shit from us.
I mean,
I wouldn't care who owned GFed. I wouldn't go back. I like Fed Wars a lot better. Unless he's going to try and copy Fed Wars completely, GFed's is just a piece of crap. I was there the other day. Sorry, not the other day. I was there yesterday. Just out of curiosity, I was like, I'm going to force myself to go. And I did. I logged in, and there's 9 people on. 3 guests, 6 users. Pretty pathetic. And I'm looking around the site, and I thought, how did we ever use this? Fuck, it sucks. Fed Wars is just so much more fun in general, and of course you have a community that interacts. You didn't take the chat, and the fucking chat don't work half the time. Kicks my ass out sometimes for a day. Everybody's like, oh, just come back in an hour. I come back an hour later. I clear my cookies. I shut my computer. It don't matter. I kick my ass out for the day. So, yeah. Luckily, everybody's in GOW anyways. I think GOW is going to become like the Fed Wars Fed. So, which is kind of cool. But no, I've had a good time since. I don't regret not coming sooner though, because things are a whole lot better now than they were, right? So I'm glad I procrastinated. You and I were really the only ones that knew I was coming anyways. I told everybody else I wasn't, obviously. It's like people be like, "Are you going to Fed Wars?" No, fucking shut up. I'm staying. I just moved to Pro Boards. Why would I want to move? Meanwhile, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah.
LIL, so we know something you don't. So, so no anti-McMadio button. And, no, what do you really think about, if he is actually buying GFed, what do you think of him running GFed? What do you think he'd do with it, and do you think it'd compete well at Fed Wars?
Oh, Dave's not gonna, if this is even true, and he actually does buy it, I don't see him doing anything with it, personally. I see him just buying it. I mean, I don't see him having the know-how to, not to sound that's a bad thing, but like the coding wise or whatever. Right. I don't think he'd be able to, because you got to know Python. That's
it's all done in Python, yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't even know. I mean, I'd know what certain things are, but I wouldn't know how to upgrade the thing. Or I'd just tell Dave to redirect the site to fedwars.net.
Yeah.
And how much do you think GFed want or Brian wants for GFed?
Who knows? I don't even know what it'd be worth. Not much anymore. I mean, 2 years ago it was probably worth a lot more, but because you had people sinking money into it, they were doing the Mario-a-thon and everything, which was kind of. By the way, you should do something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
The Mario, something like.
Well, I'm not saying doing a Mario marathon. Do something unique of your own, like you're a football fan. Do a football theme. Maybe the next time you could do hockey, or I don't know how much you like hockey or not.
I'd watch hockey if it was on TV here, and I mean, we don't get that Versus channel here, so.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
We can, but it's on flipping out. It's on.
You're in Montana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't we get all the basic cable channels, but we don't get the Versus. That's like an extended package or whatever.
All right, that was like here. I don't get Spike TV unless I want to pay $8 a month for a package that's full of crap channels. That's why I dropped it. I was like, well, I'm not paying $96 a year to watch just Spike TV. I mean, fuck that.
Spike TV ain't even.
It's not even what it used to be. It's a crap channel now. It used to be the TV for men. Now it's the TV for fucking pussies. Like, there's nothing good on it anymore.
Yeah, there ain't. I don't hardly watch it anymore. I mean, I watched the last 2 weeks of Impact. It was okay.
Yeah, but you can watch that you can go watch it free on Justin TV on the computer.
Yeah.
JustinTV.com and bring up Big Events TV. They air that, and I think Superstars live every week. So.
Yeah, I mean, Superstars is probably better than Impact, and that's
here's the
not
thing.
very good if you're running.
Here we are steering off topic, going to fucking TNA, talking about TNA. But seriously, TNA has some of the best wrestlers in professional wrestling today. It is really sad that they don't know how to book their talent or use their talent properly. AJ Styles, why is he not being put? He could be the next Shawn Michaels. Already should be the next Shawn Michaels, and they do absolutely squat with him. Samoa Joe. I mean, how many times in WWE and old WWF, and go back further than that, were Samoans used and pushed as great talents and had great gimmicks, and right from Rikishi to the Wild Samoans to the Islanders. I mean, look at all the great Samoans, and they don't do shit with them. Matt Morgan.
Okay, Matt Morgan. I don't care for Matt Morgan.
Well, see, I like Matt Morgan. He's a lot better now than he was when he was in WWE. I think he's come a long way. He can wrestle well for a big man. He's fast for a big man. And if they would actually give him a proper gimmick, instead of having him walk around saying, I'm the DNA of TNA, which is, it's so three years ago. Stop that shit. Do something. He could be the next Phenom. A guy like, especially being as young as he is, he could be the next Phenom in wrestling. The Undertaker's stepping away soon. I don't think it's any time soon. I think people have the wrong idea about The Undertaker. I don't think he'll legitimately retire. He'll do what he did this year. He'll be gone all year and then just show up to sell seats for WrestleMania type of thing. At least for another few more years.
Well, what is he going to be, 20-0 this year at WrestleMania?
Yeah, and they've got him fighting Triple H again. Shawn Michaels is going to be the special guest referee. That was supposed to happen last year, but everything got pulled out of the box and that pissed, creative off and Vince off, and they canceled that and went with what they did last year. And so now they're going to do it this year, where Shawn Michaels is their special guest referee. My guess, Triple H is probably just about to beat The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels give him a kick right in the face. That's my guess of what happens this year at WrestleMania. It'll be a close match. It'll be closer than last year, because last year they had Undertaker not even be able to walk out on his own. Right? He beat Triple H, but couldn't walk out on his own momentum.
Well, the match stole the show for that.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be, yeah. But Triple H Taker 3 sucks, in my opinion. I think they should have went with something else. But the thing was, though, they couldn't sign Sting, so that's why they did it. Don't sell Sting out yet, though, because I think the Sting thing will still happen. He's still giving interviews basically saying he'd like to face Undertaker and still show up at a WrestleMania. So I could see that being a retirement match for both of them, Phenom versus Phenom.
I think he's done.
Well,
personally, I think he's going to retire. He's going to be retired sometime by the end of this year.
Who, Sting?
Yeah.
I think he'll be done with TNA. I think you're going to see him show up for a small run, and I think he'll retire and become a Hall of Famer with the rest of the WCW greats. That's what I see happening eventually, and I think The Undertaker is the right way to go. Sting was great in his day. You're right, he's not so great now. Undertaker's definitely better than him, but who better to have end your career than Undertaker? And like I said, they could book this as Phenom versus Phenom. See, last year, remember those vignettes they had with the house and The Undertaker was in the house? No, that was supposed to be a vignette for Sting. Yeah. They did that purposely in case Sting signed. But of course, TNA offered him a fucking title, which WWE wouldn't. Why would WWE offer? And that I still don't know why he took that. I would sooner have a match with Undertaker at WrestleMania than have a title. How many wrestlers have said fighting Taker is bigger than the title? So, I mean...
Oh, yeah, because Triple H last week or whatever, he said that. I think he said something like that.
And other people have said it too, and it's true. I mean, fighting Undertaker, you know for sure you've made it. You're either going to become somebody or you are somebody and you're going out. So
I think Sting's going to be the greatest wrestler never to step in a WWE ring.
Well, see, everybody thinks that, and that's why I think it won't happen anymore. I used to think that too, and part of me still says that, but then part of me says, you know what, Vince McMahon's a fucker. He's going to get him eventually. And even Sting just recently in an interview said he was damn close to signing last year. So I could see, and he wants to face Undertaker, so I honestly see it happening still. I think it'll be maybe even a last match for both.
I'd like to see it happen, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see that about as quickly as we'll see McMadio start his own Efedding site. But anyways. So
yeah,
back to FedWars.net.
We're going to probably get bashed for talking 5 minutes about it.
They spoke about Undertaker and Sting and didn't even bother to talk about how gay Mike Park was. So, sorry, Mike. LAL told me to say that. He sent me a message in the Skype chat room. Say Mike Park is gay. Anyways. So, what else do you have planned for FedWars? We already know it's, on the rise, and pretty soon, let's face it, you're going to get a bunch of people from GFed. So, because where else are they going to go? And a lot of people maybe might stick around to watch the site sink, but I honestly think before October, you're going to see a lot of people piling in. So, what do you have planned? To rope people like that in even more, because you look at the site, it's already great. Again, in my opinion, it's better than GFed, but what do you have planned that's going to even more make people think, holy Christ, yeah, we got to go there instead of being here? What are we doing here? Let's go to FedWars.net, FedWars.net, FedWars.net.
I think the community plays a big part in that. I mean, there's an actual community that likes to be around the forums and likes to interact with each other. I mean, GFed never really was that.
No, well, it was for a while, but then the egomaniacs that ruined it, I think. There's a lot of things people blame for the downfall of GFed, but let's face it, it was all the trolling and bullshit that went with it, I think, in a lot. And then having the owner be as immature as he was, take away the community chat room and the community forums, the ability to advertise for your Fed, it was all gone. So that didn't help. Between the two, that absolutely sunk. I mean, if you go to the GFed list of feds, oh my god. I mean, why is anybody even there? It's a bunch of NCWs. I mean, it's really sad.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They only got 11 feds, so they got about the same number of ours over at FedWars. But I mean, in the next 2 months.
Yeah, but you've got between 30 and 50 users on here and there. They've got 9. And some of those were guests; they weren't even logged in. So,
I mean, this month, I post on Twitter a lot, and then a lot of people will see about 60 to 100 users online because I post on Twitter, and that gets people to the site, gets them. It's like free advertising, basically.
Yeah, well, I've been pumping out the advertisements on Twitter too. I go on Twitter at least once a day and advertise for FedWars, and of course GOW, which is now on FedWars. So I guess I really don't need to do both, but I do both anyways.
Well, we post the news, the real wrestling news on there, and then we go ahead and we'll post it on the FedWars Facebook, and then we'll post it on the FedWars Twitter account, and so people will come to the site and read the news. And
by the way, my news is updated daily, so if you ever want to steal news from the GOW boards, go ahead. I know somebody else was taking care of that, weren't they? Doing the wrestling news for FedWars?
Yeah, it's Keelan.
Keelan, he's behind the times a lot, so if you find that you want to add shit, just go to the discussion board in GOW, and there's a wrestling news and rumors. It's always updated daily. So anything new, and it's from, I've been going to sites like that for about 10 years, so there's certain sites I go to that you can pretty much guarantee they're accurate type of thing. So like Raja.com and SES, it's SE Scoops, but there's a few different sites.
But with the users, like in the last, last week or two, last month probably, I haven't been posting. It's fairly I don't know, it's like maybe every couple of days I'll post on Twitter, but usually when I'm on, I mean, it's usually between the range of 20 to 40 total users online whenever I'm on.
Yeah,
and that's really good, actually.
I think I sent you a message the other day. I logged on the other day, and there was about, like, 80 users or some damn thing. So, I mean...
that was probably from Twitter, but...
it went from 80 to 62. Well, yeah, because people get curious, click the link. But still, even after a couple minutes, there was 62, I think. So that's still pretty impressive. So, but what do you plan on doing to attract them? Like, that way when they click on and say, oh, wow, check this out, we got to do some more surfing, or what have you.
I don't know if we can actually, like, target the Twitter user.
Well, not just for Twitter. I mean, even from GFed or, like, for instance, the ProBoards people, or anybody else from different eFed sites that just happen to go to FedWars to look around, and what are they going to see to think, wow, yeah, we need to spend some more time on this site and really check it out and see what it has to offer?
Right now, I don't. With 2.0, I think it's good, but it's not great.
You keep saying that. Is there a 3.0?
There's going to be. There's going to be, and it's going to be here sooner than you think. Okay?
Well, let's just discuss that for one moment. What do you have planned for 3.0? Without giving away too much information, obviously. I know you're not going to tell me everything because you're a bastard like that. But what?
But I mean, the amount of time. If we look back at the amount of time, 1.0. Let's just look at the time here for a sec. 1.0 took me from. I mean, I started it. Actually, I started in like 2009, just writing down simple ideas. But I mean, I didn't know. I only knew basically HTML at that point in time, and then a couple of months later, I started getting PHP, getting just I taught myself basically. But and then 2010 rolled around, and then GFed started getting like all the forum crap started going down, all the bashing, flaming, trolling. So in 2000, and then that the big DC guy, he came out with something before I said that I was going to have something out on the GFed forums in 2010. He like June, the summer of 2010, he said he posted a link about something, and then it didn't go down. So about September of 2010, I had a skeleton of FedWars 1.0 out. It was really crappy if you compare it to now, like really crappy. And then
1.0 wasn't. It wasn't exactly that much of a improvement over GFed. 2.0, however, far different.
I mean 1.0. I mean, it is for being my first ever like major project. And I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Well, it was pretty good, but I wouldn't say it was that much of an improvement over over GFed at the time.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But to me personally, I mean, I thought it was pretty. I mean, I impressed myself, but I know that there's a lot of things that I'm looking at back now that I'm like, oh, why did I did that? Like like we were talking to Wow Food in the chat last night, and I was talking about like. Or Won or whatever his name is, he brought up he posted a bug in the bug forum, and he said that the certain things weren't, or the matches, like the wins and losses for canceled matches, were counting on the actual record. And the smart thing that I should have done was when they pressed cancel, it should have deleted it from the database.
Right.
But I didn't do it.
So has that been changed, or you have to change that still?
No, I still have to change that. I probably won't change it until 3.0, just because. I mean, I'm gonna probably go on and fix the bug today to get it so it just cancel. I could probably put that in where it deletes the canceled. I mean, it'll take me about 5 minutes. And
change the championship's picture rendering too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd take me another minute.
Yeah.
Half this stuff half the stuff that actually these people post or the users post could take me 15 minutes or less. Most of the stuff, but I'm very lazy. And
one of the biggest things I want changed is being able to reorganize our pages and categories. I think we should be able to bump them up or down depending on what order they want them in.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Like I think everything else you're doing a great job. Anyways, you've got more ideas, more plans for the future. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I think we just all like to bug you about changes and new things coming. It's exciting. But that would be one of the big things for me, besides the picture rendering, is that makes the titles look retarded. But better than GFed still. They had this little tiny fucking icon. But anyways, enough about GFed. If we could reorganize our categories and pages to put them in the proper... and the other thing that annoys me is having, when we create pages, they all go under one drop-down menu.
Yeah.
So I've had to kind of get around that by, instead of creating pages, I've created threads or topics on the discussion board to get around that problem. For now, anyways, in case, if something changes down the road, I don't have to have 50 things under one menu, then I'll probably create pages and do away with that. But for now, I've had to use the discussion board as...
With 3.0, I plan on putting... you're gonna be able to pick out your layout, a Fed layout. You can have either a drop-down menu, a top menu. You can have a
sidebar.
Yeah, a sidebar menu, kind of like how GFed kind of has it.
Yeah, well, that was kind of convenient because your pages would show up down the side, and you would just click on whichever one you would want to do. But
Or I'll probably put in a couple of different ones. You can probably have it on the left side handbar if you like that, or you could have a right side menu bar if you want that. And I'll probably put something in where you can have probably both, where you can probably have a top menu and a sidebar menu.
Sweet.
So if you wanted to say have the main links on the sidebar and have like the sub links on the top menu bar, you could do something like that. But getting back to like the 1.0, like how much time I put in. I mean, I put a lot of time into it, but like the amount of planning I did, hardly any planning.
Yeah.
And I probably spent 10% or fewer amount of my time planning out what things should do, and 90% coding. And that's probably not a good mix to do a 90-10 ratio of coding to planning, because there's a lot of things that shouldn't have been coded out that were.
Right.
And then like Fed Wars, when we were planning the Fed Wars 2.0, there's a little more planning. I'd say there was probably 80-20 ratio in that.
Right.
And it's still not very good. I mean, you need to have, with 3.0, everything. I've been reading up on how to prepare a proper design document for when making a game, and they're pretty interesting. So, I mean, you should at least spend. I mean, I'll probably spend at least 20 to 50 hours just designing, making a design document, and then it will probably take me anywhere between 100 to 200. I'm assuming. I'll have to plan everything out and give each thing a time limit or a time frame. But I'm going to assume 100 to 200 hours it would probably take me to code everything out. So you're looking at probably a ratio more of more like 60-40 ratio, which is better. 60 coding, 40 planning out. In that way everything. Basically, what the design document is. I don't know if you do. You know what the design documents are for games or whatever?
No.
But okay, what they basically do is they basically map everything out of what you're going to do, every single feature you're going to have in, what they do, what the like, for instance, for a website, what it's going to look like, what graphics are going to be needed, and then you go through. There's I don't know. I was reading something that had like 6 different phases that you can have that, or you can have you can like start at step 1. You got to prepare like a rough draft, and then you go to these next steps, and then you go to like a I don't know. They call it a graphic Bible, and then that's probably where you would design
graphic Bible.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
You could take that a couple of different ways.
Yeah, but what's that?
I'm just laughing at the word graphic Bible. You could make that mean something entirely different than what it does.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you could. But for this, I think we all understand what it means. But
except for McMaddy, who's still trying to figure it out as he continues to listen.
Yes.
What's a graphic Bible? Does it have nude pictures in it?
Yeah. Speaking. Now you just sidetracked me. But hey, no posting porn on the forums.
That wasn't porn. That was an alien hanging onto a boob. Come on.
Anyways,
it's okay. I understand. I understand you don't like my posts. Bastard.
And then we'll talk. And then the final step is putting everything together, like making out a schedule, knowing what I have to get done, basically. And that's what I'm going to do for 3.0. I'm going to get all the features that I want in, and everything on how they do, how they work. I'll have all that done before I even write out the first line of code. I'll have all that done, so I know what to do. It'll be better organized, better planned out, and better for you as a user.
Sweet. So what do you think the timeline is here? Like, how long do you think before 3.0 is ready? 6 months, 3 months, summertime?
I mean, I said summertime on the forum.
Could be sooner.
I could probably get it done if I started at least by March 1st.
Right.
I could probably get it out by sometime in May, give or take. Yeah, May. I'd say that's probably the earliest it would come out.
All right, cool. And I noticed that in Fed Wars, when you create a tag team or a stable, you do it from the main site as opposed to actually in the Fed you're in. Is there any reason for that? Like, are you going to eventually be able to just go inside your Fed and click tag team or stable and create right in the Fed itself, or is it going to remain on the main site? Is that so that the site can keep track of everything? Like,
well, I think I like everything. I mean, I want all this stuff to be global. So if you created like a tag team, you could go into you could go into another Fed and you still be in that tag team.
Right. Oh, okay. I see. So that's why you've done that. All right, that makes sense.
I mean, because on GFed, you had to create, if you wanted to be a tag team, you had to create it in that Fed.
Different Fed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then the record just wouldn't carry over from Fed to Fed.
Yeah, that's true.
So here on Fed Wars, everything's globalized, so to speak, and the records, all your records are there from every single Fed you've been in.
Which is awesome, because back in the day when I did Allied 4 and Allied 3, I mean, I had to keep track of all that shit myself and go to each different Fed and tally the results and the wins and loss records and holy fuck. So yeah, your method of the site itself, keeping track of everybody's wins, losses, ties, and all it's far better. I like that. You know, if you're ever to do 2 or 3 Feds running storylines together like that, like I did in the past, it works a whole lot easier now.
I mean, and that's something else I'm going to try to see how you could probably do it in 3.0 is having promotion relationships within Feds.
Yeah, well, exactly. That'd be cool.
Like having so you can like share workers possibly. Something like that, or do interactive storylines so you could both appear on the same roster and be booked on matches if you want.
That'd be sweet, because I've always been a fan of inter-Fed rivalries and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I've actually got a few different ideas for GOW. I don't know how much you paid attention or not, but like, for instance, I'm even going to allow people to roleplay as different characters. You don't necessarily have to be a wrestler. You'll be able to be, like, say you want to be a dirty referee, or a manager, or a general manager, or, you know, along those lines. Non-wrestling characters won't roleplay as often as a wrestling character. Like, we do bi-weekly shows, and bi-weekly is every 2 weeks, fuckers. And
yeah,
anyways...
hides his loot.
Well, you know why? And they are right. In the UK, it means either or. For some damn reason, they think that, you know,
but the UK are always wrong. So, I mean, we're right.
They're gonna have fun with that one. But we have shows bi-weekly, and so wrestling characters will roleplay twice in a 2-week period. Where, let's say, if you're just a manager. Or a referee that might have just screwed somebody out of a title. You'll only roleplay once if you want. I mean, you could roleplay more if you want, but you're only going to be required to submit one roleplay as opposed to 2. So I just thought it'd be more fun to have different characters as opposed to just wrestling characters roleplaying all of the time.
So when you were still running a Fed on GFed, did they have special referee match types?
No, they had. I mean, people were always. Sometimes they would write a referee or another character into their role plays, but it was always just wrestlers. That's why I thought it'd be cool, because not everybody wants to write about a wrestler. Maybe they'd like to be a manager. Maybe they'd like to create a stable and write a role play about recruiting for that stable. Then maybe later on they're going to role play about, hey, let's take out these guys and go for their title. You know, whatever. You know, it's just something different, a different flavor than just somebody writing about a wrestler going through the ropes of becoming a star in the Fed they're in. You could have that manager, you know, role-playing and coming up with ideas to screw other wrestlers, or, you know, team up to try and get a title or get all the titles for their stable, whatever.
See, that's something else that I kind of am going to be working on with 3.0, is putting in the capabilities of having an actual wrestler be the special referee, because I don't think you can. I mean, you can have a match called a match type of special referee right now, but I mean, you can't actually select the special referee.
Yeah, so basically all you can do right now is role play about it.
Yeah. But and I was thinking about putting in like a manager type worker. I mean, I don't know how that worked, but I mean, I could probably come up with a few ideas. But I don't know how popular role-playing as a manager would be.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I'm going to see how it works in GOW. Maybe you can look in from time to time and see how many people are interested in writing non-wrestler characters.
But I mean, it might be interesting to actually implement it and try it out and see how it goes. Yeah.
For sure. So what else you got planned? Anything you can tell us that's not going to ruin...
I do have something for the. I'm not going to say it, but I do have something planned. That's. I think it will make reading results fun. I think it will make them fun to read and more entertaining to read, and not just seem like a chore or a big old time.
Like you're reading a bunch of jargon you can't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I come up with the idea to have recorded shows. I thought that'd be fun, as opposed to just writing shows, which is very time consuming. That's why I decided to record all my results and have a guest panel, and like yourself and myself and whoever else is going to be recording the show, talk about the matches and discuss the winner or the loser or whatever. I thought it'd be more of a fun approach, and of course I'm still going to have a little bit of written in there, because I got, what I'm going to do is have the video we create for the show, and then underneath I'll have what the matches were, and just as simple as who won it, how they won it, so to speak. If you want to know more, then you'll have to tune into the show and find out what was discussed and so on and so forth. So,
but with it's the thing that'll make it. The thing that I plan on adding and will be in, it'll make it funner to read. I mean, it'll just overall, I think it will make it. It'll make it for a lot better user experience when reading results.
Cool.
It's not. You just won't. I mean, you won't be swamped by looking at a whole bunch of text at once. I'll give away a little bit of it. It'll be this feature will be able to break it down so it's easier to read, and hopefully, I think it would be funner to read, but definitely a lot easier to read in the end.
Most excellent. So, I'm just trying to think of anything else that I might want to know. No anti-McMadio button. We're still waiting for the
that'd be a waste of my time.
Yeah, fucking thing probably wouldn't work anyways, and then he'd just pop on anyway. The new chat room. There's a topic of conversation, because we're winding down our time here, so we wouldn't want people to complain the show's too long.
Yeah.
New chat room. You were saying we don't need a new chat room; it just has to be upgraded to function.
It's got to be put on the server that it's currently on is better on the previous server it was on. The reason it's not on the same server as the website is because the website would be taken down, because I read in the terms of services a few weeks ago that chat scripts are not allowed on this account. So, that's why the chat is kind of on a different server.
Oh, I see.
And the reason, and it's on a free server. I know that's kind of cheap, but it's on a free server. But it's currently better than the old free server. Let's put it that way.
Well, we can expect a more functioning chat room in the near future, then, right? So that
Yes,
when it forces me to refresh my screen and I come back, it doesn't boot me out for 24 hours at a time.
Yeah, there's something. I think it's with the people's IP address. I'm not sure, but even though I tried to use a proxy to get back into it, it didn't work. So I don't know what its problem is.
I got a question. May as well touch base on this, seeing how it was a topic of conversation in the forums yesterday. What's your take on the double, sometimes triple posting that people are doing?
I'd say it's 80% the user, 20% my fault in the code.
80-20. Because I know a couple of times, it's only happened to me like twice, I think. Where it was funny the one time because I posted the message. I go back in and I noticed there's two posts with the same topic, but they were posted about 17 minutes apart, and I thought, wait, what the hell? What the fuck is going on? So
in that case, that's definitely the user's fault. That's 100% the user's fault.
So how would I manage to post something 17 minutes after the original?
Well, how that happens, the only way I think it would happen is you post the topic, and then you go away, you go and do something, get a cup of coffee or something, you come back later, you press the refresh button. And I guess, I'd say that's probably 90% your fault, 10% my fault, because I should probably put a stop in there if you refresh again.
Right.
But, that's how that happens. Because you'll refresh the topic to see if anyone posted on your topic, and then automatically it'll create a new topic. So I'll probably be putting in what Wow Food said, and putting in a little 5-second delay in between when you post.
Should we really do anything that he wants us to do? I mean, we're talking about Wow Food here. He's an anal-dwelling butt monkey.
True. True.
Hey, that's something we don't have in the chat room. We don't have any monkeys flying around in the chat room or driving little vehicles.
Well, the last time I checked, I'm not GFed. I'm not trying to be like GFed.
Well, that's why it's called Fed Wars. I wonder, that's So,
but yeah, and also with 3.0, I want to do something so it's funner for both the Fed head, but especially for the rest, for the general
workers, right?
Yeah, right now, what can you do? What do? You just go and buy stuff in the shop, and write
role plays. Yeah, it's almost G fetish.
It's boring. even I can. I mean, that's boring. And then you need more stuff to spend your money on. You need to be able to like. I'm gonna look on like different sites. Like I've been on the Goal Line Blitz. And they have like an upgrading. They have like a leveling system. I'm gonna go and see how they do it, and I'm gonna go on the wrestling game also because I think.
TWG, you mean?
What's that?
TWG.
Yeah, the wrestling game. Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna see how they do their leveling up system, because I don't think with 3.0 we're not going to be competing with GFed anymore. I don't
think we're competing with them now. I think we're burying them quicker.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, true. I don't. Yeah, we're not competing. I think the next person, and people might think I'm kind of crazy or whatever, but the site that we have to compete with is the wrestling game, and they're way ahead of us. They got, I don't know. I looked today, 40,000 users.
Yeah, but how many of them are actually on there every day and doing things every day? I mean, that could be old accounts. Could be, you know what I mean?
Well, what they're saying, and I mean, I'm taking it. They got over 7,000 or 8,000 Facebook fans. I mean, that's ridiculous for a wrestling game. But I mean, don't get me wrong.
We'll have to do some more advertising here and there. That's all.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have 8,000 Facebook fans.
It'll happen.
I mean, I don't know. In the last week, we've had 5 or 6 new Facebook fans. We got one this. I don't know. I checked it this morning. I got a new one this morning, but slowly growing. But with 3.0, yeah, it's got to compete with the wrestling game, and probably a lot of people who are going to probably listen to this, if they listen to this far, if they don't get nauseated by us talking 5 minutes of wrestling, real wrestling.
And of course, when you bring up WoW food, everybody just wants to shut the shit off anyways. What the fuck are they talking about that asshole for?
Or they'll complain about us talking about Mick Matteo for 2 seconds.
They've always got something to bitch about. They got to have something to bitch. Well, I mean, OL's going to say, I thought this fucker was supposed to be a half an hour. I think we've already been almost to an hour, but shut up, OL. I like OL. He's funny.
But yeah, we got to compete with the wrestling game, and we got to. A lot of people don't think that it's probably possible, but I mean, the wrestling game just got popular. In the last year or so. I mean, they weren't as popular as they were. I mean, they had about half the total users as they did since they opened in 2007, 2008. They had about 17,000 users. Coming into 2011. So for 3 years, they had that, which is a lot of users. But in the last year, they've gotten up to 40,000 users or user base. At least that's what they advertise, or at least show. So yeah, I think we gotta compete with them. And another thing, we have to get, and a lot of guys have brought it up on the forums. We have to get affiliated with other wrestling sites.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about talking to John Kent. He's of course the owner of the JohnReport.net. He's been covering wrestling news and rumors for over 10 years. As a matter of fact, he's actually an affiliate of the WWE now. You can go to his site, purchase WWE merchandise right on his site. You can even get a discount if you do go to his site and purchase. So they are legitimately affiliates of the WWE now. It happened last year, I think. Actually, might have been right around this time, actually. I was thinking about, and I have him on Facebook. I talk to him quite often. That's how I have permission to have their Raw, SmackDown, and Impact reviews on my site. So I was thinking about talking to him and seeing maybe if he would advertise Fed Wars on his site for you.
Now, if he did that, that'd be...
He has a lot of users on his site.
He does. I've been on there. I've been on there a few times, and he does. He does have a lot of users.
Yeah, and daily, every day.
Yeah, he's probably in the top 5. Top
10 enough that the WWE took notice. You know what I mean? They took notice. So and like I said, I talk to him pretty much every day. So I'm thinking. I've never asked him for anything other than permission to have his reviews on my site, which he was very gracious about. All I had to do was make sure I credit him for or whoever the article happens to be written by, because he has different authors writing things for his site, which was cool. So yeah, I'm thinking about maybe having a little discussion with him and seeing maybe if he could advertise FedWars.net on thejohnreport.net.
Yeah, that'd be really really good, if you did that.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing with like 3.0 is going to be like a really good polished version. Probably the best. It's definitely going to be the best version of FedWars.
The only issue with it is it's not McMattio free, and somehow WowFood still has an account, I'll bet.
True, very true. But I think once 3.0 comes out, I'm going to try and go and get affiliated with as many wrestling sites as possible, because
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, with FedPort, people have posted to go and get affiliated right now, but I don't think FedWars just right now. It just ain't. It ain't. I don't think it's ready yet to go and get affiliated yet, because there's still bugs that are popping up, and a lot of these bugs are going to get solved. A lot of them are going to get corrected when 3.0 comes out.
Yeah.
So
I should hold off on speaking to Mr. Canton then.
Yeah, I would recommend. Yeah.
Well, I'll just wait. When you think that you're ready to have that done, just message me. I'll get a hold of him, and I'll have the discussion with. I honestly, I don't think you'll have too big of a problem with it. I think he'll be more than happy to oblige us. So he's a nice guy. He's very easy to approach. Everybody that works and writes for him is really nice. So I've got 3 of his writers on. I've got Christian Michael, Mark something or other. The hell, Mark. He just goes by Mark B most of the time, and then of course John Kent himself that does the Raw Deal every week. So,
but another site that's been talked about by like Rod and Rod Lightning and HHL is the what the heck do they call it? The wrestling blooper site, or the Botchamania.
Oh yeah.
They want us to get affiliated with Botchamania, which I think would be a good thing. I think they have a lot of. I think I'm pulling up the site right now, but I think I mean, if we get affiliated with some big site, at least we'd only need one like major site to take us on and then we'd get more new users that have never that are new, or I mean, we just need to build up a user base.
Right. So before we wrap things up, we'll just get your final thoughts on a couple of things. We've already, of course, talked about it. We'll get your final thoughts on a couple of things here. Number 1, McMattio being a real human being, or no?
That's false.
False, okay. WowFood.
He's an idiot.
Dave buying GFed.
I call BS on that.
So you don't think he's going to buy GFed? It'd be funny if he did, though, wouldn't it? I mean, for us to sit here and discuss on the air, no, we don't think he's actually buying GFed. He's just pulling our chain. And then he actually does. That would be funny.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, personally. I don't see. I bet you Brian wants at least. At the very least, he wants probably $1,000. At the very least.
Yeah, well, he probably would. Yeah. Even though he's sitting here ready to give the site up and quit it, he'd want $1,000 for somebody to buy it, which is completely stupid if you ask me. But
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'd spend maybe $1 to get the domain name.
Yeah.
And then I'd just redirect it to FedWars.net.
FedWars. Yeah, absolutely. What was I going to say? HHL. Do you think he'll actually ever grow a set, or do you think he'll just for the rest of his life be hung like a field mouse's ear?
Well, we had this discussion last night with, not about HHL, but apparently, what do you call it? What did you say? The barn mouse's ear? Is that what you're calling it?
Field mouse's ear, yeah.
Oh, field mouse's ear. Well, he said it was 7 inches.
Yeah, Wow Food said that. Yeah, 7 inches. Which, of course, I don't buy for a second. I mean, even though 7 inches is probably, a 12-year-old boy, but I mean...
And people are probably listening to this right now. If they get to this far, they're probably thinking, what in the world are they talking about?
We're talking about Wow Food's penis. Yeah, let's end that topic of conversation. But, Yeah, that's
a chat killer right there.
Done. They've pressed stoppage. So I guess that's pretty much it. The whole Dave buying G-Fed thing still keeps ringing in my head, so we need to have a conversation with him and find out if he's actually serious or if he's just trying to fuck with us, because,
Yeah, I don't...
Not that it really matters either way, but inquiring minds must know. So
Yes, I am interested. If this thing is actually going to happen, I'd like to know how much he's going to pay for this.
Yeah,
exactly. I doubt he would pay... I know I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it.
No.
And I say that's the very least.
And it would take a complete fucking miracle to rebuild that site. They completely trashed that site. And just the name alone, unless he changes it, would leave a sour taste in people's mouths. So.
Well, and Brian said himself that, it's done. I mean, G-Fed, not done as in, he said this like years ago. He said that he didn't build it for expansion.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you build something for expansion?
Because it was just something to pass time, and eventually he just became bored with it and didn't give a shit anymore. That's why. Where you actually want to build a functioning, decent site for people to come to and gather as a community. So that's what makes FedWars already much better than G-Fed was in 5 years, or 6 years, or whatever it was. But cool. We definitely went past the 30-45 minute mark. So OL's going to immediately be livid, Yeah. But it was cool. Thanks for being part of FedCast Radio 1-on-1, Episode 1.
Yep.
And we'll definitely have to have you on again. McMadio wants to be on an episode, so that should be entertaining.
You're probably going to get 0 views on that.
I won't even advertise that one. People will just turn it on. Let's McMadio on there and shut this shit off right now.
No, I think that one would be actually interesting.
You think? I don't know about that. I suggested he just go on FedCast Radio with the panel. That way we can, at least have a little... what am I going to do with McMadio? I'm going to be talking about Ustream and Gay-Fed and whatever else. I don't know what he's going to talk about. We'll see. I don't know. I might do it. I'll have a discussion with him beforehand, find out what he actually wants to discuss. Because maybe there are some people that would want to hear how an interview with him would turn out. I don't know. We'll see.
So we're doing
FedCast Radio episode 2 next week. I believe Obi Steve Owen will be on with us, which is cool because he missed the last one due to work. And
then we're going to have to bring up that we're going to have to get him see why he's not moved to FedWars yet.
See why he hasn't moved to FedWars. Yes, we should definitely spring that on him. Especially because you had told me last night he could upload Facebook videos onto the site, not just YouTube videos. So that might actually, because even if he wanted to keep the Facebook one open, he could still open one up on FedWars and have it in both spots. So get a new gathering on FedWars, and if they don't want to migrate from Facebook to FedWars, so be it. You'll still have a new community build anyway. So. All right, well, thanks very much, and we'll definitely talk to you again soon. We'll get together for another episode of 1-on-1, and maybe by then 3.0 will be out and rock and roll, and you can discuss 4.0.
Yeah, 4.0, I think that's at least another year. I think 3.0 is going to be really impressive, personally. I think it's going to be... my best work, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when they see it.
Very cool. All right, I look forward to it, and we shall talk at you soon, but I am out.